Welcome to Sharon United Methodist Church's special Christmas Day worship service. This has been pre-recorded ahead of time, so we want to wish you a Merry Christmas. We hope that you and your family are having a wonderful day and spending some really great quality time together. My name is Greer. I'm the pastor here at Sharon United Methodist Church, and it's my privilege to welcome you here this morning. If you are a guest, we are glad that you are tuning in. We would love to connect with you, and you can do that in several ways. The easiest way right now is just simply send us an email or visit our website and find out about things that are going on, or of course you can visit us on the Facebook page as well. I do want to share with you a couple of announcements before we get into what we have in store for you today. The first is that next week, January the 1st, on New Year's Day, we're going to be doing something a little different. Mainly, we are going to be having a combined service and welcoming Kingsway, which is a musical group in the local area, and they will be helping us ring in the new year. And so that worship service will be at 10 a.m. So I hope that you will join us there. There won't be any other worship service that day, so just the 10 a.m. service here in the sanctuary. So I hope that you will join us for that. The following week, we will go back to our regular schedule, Sunday morning schedule. That means that we'll have our 9 a.m. Word and Table Contemporary service. We'll have at 10 o'clock, we'll have our Sunday school hour, and then at 11 o'clock, we will do our traditional worship service. Also on that day, we're going to be starting a new sermon series called Why. This is going to be taking a look at questions that perhaps you have asked before in your life. These why questions of why, ask why do bad things happen to good people? Or, even just something as simple as, well, why are Christians at times such hypocrites? So I hope that you will join us for that sermon series. I hope it'll be something that you can learn a couple of things, but also wrestle with some of those questions moving forward. This morning, I want to read for you a scripture passage. This is the alternative passage that could have been read last night at our Christmas Eve service. I won't read all of it, but many of you are familiar with this passage because you've heard it time and time again. And it's Luke chapter 2, and I'll just read the first 7 verses that tell the story of the birth of Jesus. At the time, the Roman Emperor Augustus decreed that a census should be taken throughout the Roman Empire. This was the first census taken when Quirinius was governor of Syria. All returned to their own and ancestral towns to register for this census. And because Joseph was a descendant of King David, he had to go to Bethlehem in Judea, David's ancient home. He traveled there from the village of Nazareth in Galilee. He took with him Mary, to whom he was engaged, who was now expecting a child. And while they were there, the time came for her baby to be born. She gave birth to her firstborn son. She wrapped him snugly in strips of cloth and laid him in a manger, because there was no lodging available for them. So that's the alternative text that could be read on Christmas Eve. And I want to bring that to us here this morning because this is a reminder to us that Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, they are not just simply days. They're just not simply points in time to where they're just an event that we pass through and everything remains the same. And in fact, I think the church knew this because in a lot of churches, they follow what is called the lectionary. And the lectionary has a calendar associated with it. And you see at times that here, even in our sanctuary, that there are several different colors within the sanctuary that are used. And these colors are used to mark the different seasons that we are in. So currently, we are in the Christmas season. Yes, Christmas isn't just a day. It's not just a night. It's not just a morning. But in fact, it is an extended period of time. It's an extended period of time for us to focus in on God's sending his son into the world. It's a time to where we can focus on what God has done on our behalf. And I think the people that came up with this calendar knew what they were doing. Because at times we don't take the time to let those things sink into our lives. We don't take time to let the truth sink in. We just assume that because it's true, it sounds good, we're just going to simply accept it because, well, it sounds good to us, we're going to move forward with it, and our lives go about unchanged. But Christmas is several days. It is a season. Easter is the same way. Easter is a season. And I think the reason why the church did that was so that the truth could sink in, not just at the surface level, not just at the skin deep level, but sink into our very being, sink into our bones. So it's not just something that we could brush off here or there, but it is something that defines us for who we are, that it defines the ways that we act in this world. It defines the ways, the words that we use in this world. It defines the thoughts that we have in this world. You see, Christmas isn't just simply a day. It's not just something that we can mark on our calendar and move through very quickly, having Christmas songs on the radio one day and on the very next we go back to life as it is. No, Christmas is something that stays with us. It stays with us because it changes us. It transforms us. It makes us people that we couldn't be on our own. It does this because Jesus Christ, who is the light of the world, who is himself life, came to save us, came to redeem us and redirect us toward his purposes. So my hope is that during this Christmas day, you will spend some time reflecting on what God has done for you, what God has done on behalf of you, something that you couldn't do on your own. So I hope that you'll spend time reflecting on that, and I hope that you'll spend time the next several days even letting that truth sink into your life. I do hope that today is a wonderful day. I hope you have a great time celebrating with your family. One of the ways that we want to help you celebrate is having the staff share a little bit about their own favorite memories or their favorite gifts, or just simply wishing you a Merry Christmas. And so from here on out, it's going to be our staff, several of our staff sharing their favorite memories, their favorite gifts. And so I hope you'll stay tuned to the very end because there are some pretty great memories.
Everyone knows that I'm super sentimental, and I brought this with me. This is part of my favorite Christmas memory. Every year, my grandmother and grandfather would wrap up one of these for all the kids and have a nice crisp $5, $10 bill taped to them. We had a pretty big family, and it was a lot for my grandmother to try and think about and do. But now, every time I go into a store and I see one of these, I may not always buy it, but I always touch it, and y'all know me, so most of the time there's a little misty eye in there. But anyway, it's pretty special to me.
It's tough to just find one. I mean, we've got the same routine that we've got all the time, and that is, we go over to my dad's parents, my grandparents' house every Christmas morning, and there we see aunts and uncles and grandparents, and both sets of grandparents have been coming. And just spending time with family, now that my sister lives far enough away, getting her to come back over and spend time with us. There's always breakfast that's there, and this year, of course, I get to spend it for the very first time with my wife. So that's something that I'm excited for making new memories of, but I really would have a hard time just picking up just one.
I have lots of memories growing up at Christmas, but some of my favorites were spent at my grandparents' house. On Christmas Eve, we would go over to my grandma and papa Lander's house, and all the cousins, there would probably be about 20 to 25 of us over there. We would eat and open presents, and of course a snowball fight would always happen. And then we also would see Santa Claus peeking at us through the window every year at Christmas. And then on Christmas Day, we would go up to Mom and Pa Johnson's house, and again, we would eat, have a good time. All the cousins would play and open presents. And I remember sitting around the Christmas tree, eating fast, sitting around the tree and telling the adults to hurry up and eat so we could open our presents. Just some good times together as family.
So my favorite Christmas memory is probably when we had a white Christmas like 12 years ago, and we went to Waffle House. And just seeing the snow fall on that beautiful Highway 176 while eating my chopped and diced hash browns was a magical moment.
One of my favorite Christmas gifts was given to me about 4 years ago. knowing that I was only going to have one child, I wanted to make sure I could cherish everything that she did, and I loved her handwriting. So one year, Heath had Sophie write, "I love you, Mommy, love Sophie," in her handwriting with her little hearts. And he took it and had this little bracelet made for me. And I just wear it a lot so that I can cherish my time that I had with her growing up.
That's a really, really hard question for me to answer. Because I started thinking about it, and I'm thinking of all the cool things I got when I was a kid. 3-wheelers and bicycles and Ataris. But the older I get, the more I realize what my dad said is true. My greatest Christmas gift is my family and getting to spend time with them and being all together. The first time I met my bonus daughters was on a Christmas parade. Both of my children were born in December, so they were Christmas babies. And my dad always says when we're together that his greatest possession is his family and the love that he feels inside his house. And the older I get, when I have all of my girls and my grands there, I know exactly what he's talking about. So family, that's the greatest gift.
You know, when I was in 7th grade, I got my very first Stratocaster guitar, and woke up on Christmas morning. I remember it was bright blue with a maple fretboard. Even though I've had that since 7th grade, never got much better than that day at playing it. But still my favorite gift. It led into just a hobby that I loved, and just a way that you know, I could play music for people.
So it was probably this dirt bike. And I got it with my brother. We got matching dirt bikes too, which is pretty cool. But the cool thing was they were signed by Santa, and he has excellent penmanship. It was great. Merry Christmas, everybody. God bless us, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope you have a blessed Christmas and a Happy New Year.
We hope you have a very Merry Christmas.
The Fennel household, Merry Christmas.
On behalf of everyone here at Sharon United Methodist Church, its staff, its membership, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. A Christmas that sticks with you and that changes your life. One that you meditate on day and night, meditating on what God has done on your behalf. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll see you very soon. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Oh, testing.
Go to my grandmother and Grandma and Papa. Can I start over?
Yeah. You don't have to get cat involved.
Yeah. Mind focus.
You actually are. Cool. I hope so. If not, we're going to have a blurry Carl. Oh, we're recording.
Anyway, it's pretty special to me.
But I do want to be sure to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Hark the herald angels